Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Alien vs. Predator Galaxy YouTube channel. This is regular host Aaron Percival, aka Corporal Hicks.
And this is co-host Adam Zeller, aka RidgeTop.
Eric Adams, otherwise known as Xenomorphine.
Making his big debut on the motion tracker videos.
Yay!
And what an episode to come and join us on, Eric.
What a day.
Indeed.
More big
Disney
news.
Palooza.
It's been exciting. Like, this last week there's been quite a few posts on on the website, which has been nice. I like posting new stuff. But yeah, this one's a good one because this one relates to something we teased on our socials.
We teased also on our last motion tracker video. If you saw that one, we said Alien wasn't dead either, and now you know what we were referring to on the Disney Investor Day presentation yesterday. Alien FX series was announced as officially in development.
Indeed. So, Adam, do you want to take us through the post and what we know, and we'll have a chat?
Sure. So this is going to be helmed by Noah Hawley, which you might remember. He's been rumored to be working on this for quite a while, and he was reportedly he had done a pitch to then Fox a couple years back, but at the time they didn't really have an interest in pursuing the show because I think then Fox CEO Emma Watts wanted to keep Alien a theatrical franchise. But times have changed these days. So it looks like they are pursuing Hawley's ideas. And on the investor live stream, FX chairman John Landgraf gave like a brief 30-second little tease on the series, and he described it as having both the timeless horror of the first Alien film with the nonstop action of the second. And the video was pretty cool. We saw just a couple of pieces of, Aaron, if you want to scroll down to the bottom here. Yeah, a couple pieces of marketing imagery. And in that bit, the one with the logo, you could see a little alien crawling up the wall in the background. They did give us some minor plot details, which is that this is going to be near future Earth. And I know some people have been concerned about that setting and premise. But, I'm excited. I'm going to keep an open mind. And we do know more about the series than we can reveal at this point. So we will just be talking about the news that's been made public here.
Mm-hmm. So this is always, fun for us because we have to be careful in terms of speculation and what we do know going in there. So the whole Earth thing is, I understand why it could be worrisome to people, especially combined with this near future setting, because if this is Predator 2's idea of near future, that's a bit soon, but when it comes down to it, Alien, the franchise, now begins in our century, thanks to Prometheus. So near future being 30 years away wouldn't be such a bother to me. And the location, it's a weird one because, yes, the whole point of the first 3 Alien films is Ripley trying to stop the alien getting to Earth, which is one of the sort of criticisms that we can have about AVP. The first film, Ripley goes through all this torture when they've been here all along. So from
I've never honestly thought that it cheapens that, because I feel like even in AVP, there was the sense that if these things got out of the isolated location they were in, it would all go to hell.
But it was never going to happen because of the future.
Right. I mean, we knew that.
The problem. It ring fences things. That these stakes can't be high for it to break out properly. But
so
within the characters it deals with
in the situation, yes.
Yeah. The drama comes from the character fates, ultimately, which means. Which I think kind of ring fences this one in as well. But, Alien does contain stories really well anyway. in the expanded universe, you have all these isolated incidents, colonies going dark, space stations going dark. So from that perspective, the idea of it being on Earth doesn't bother me. AVP's already shown that you can keep it contained without necessarily affecting the continuity. So that isn't such a huge problem for me. Again, it all depends on execution anyway, doesn't it, really? I mean, it could be set in the future and there could be, entire colonies at stake. And if it's done poorly, who cares? So, yeah, the locale doesn't necessarily worry me too much, nor does the near future. Unless it is, 5 years down the line. But I don't think it's going to be 5 years down the line. I think we're probably talking 30, 40 years, closer to Prometheus than to current timeline.
And that obviously begs the question, like, if David created the alien, what's going on here in Covenant? Which, I'm happy about. But
woo, yeah.
A
lot of people will be.
I actually learned about this through the Alien social channels on Twitter and Facebook. They announced this series, which community member Mikey pointed out to me. I was just about to, watch the Game Awards, and he was like, "Hey, they just announced the Alien series," and so yeah, it was in the announcement. They said Alien is currently in development at FX Networks. Aaron, could you bring that back for me real quick?
Hang on, I'm bringing up the actual social post. Sorry.
So yeah, this was their social post in which they said Alien is currently in development at FX Networks. The first TV series based on the classic film series is helmed by Fargo and Legion's Noah Hawley. Expect a scary thrill ride set not too far in the future here on Earth. And surprisingly enough, this was also shared on Disney's official Twitter, which I was a little surprised about, but I guess they kind of shared all their Investor Day announcements there.
But it's nice to see them embrace the franchise as well. The big concern when all this was going off, when the buyout was going off, was the whole Disney-fying of the series.
That and Deadpool. I still don't think Disney is going to be taking on too many R-rated brands, but I think they knew when they acquired Fox, or at least they've discovered that they probably do have to evolve in certain ways in terms of their content offerings, and how they're going to do that is this is not going to be a Disney Plus series. This is going to be on Hulu, which Disney has the ownership stake in.
But that's what we said all along anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that Fox would remain the branding for more adult films, kind of like how Miramax was for them back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it was never a concern for me. Disney's always put out adult material through other brands, and that was going to be how it would continue with the Fox brands. And we see that here. This is not Disney Plus. This is Alien FX on Hulu.
So I have not watched too much of Hawley's work except for a few episodes of Fargo, which I honestly really enjoyed. And I thought it was quite well done. FX has done a number of high production value series, like Sons of Anarchy. Didn't they do American Horror Story as well? Is that FX?
Yes, FX. That's FX.
And that was quite a popular series. So I definitely, sci-fi, high production value sci-fi is much more accessible to TV now than it was when we were growing up, Aaron. It seemed like, TV was the low budget and they had to get away with what they got away with in that. But now you're seeing shows like The Expanse, sci-fi series that have insane production value. And
it all sort of started with HBO, really, didn't it? That they were the people sort of pushing that, especially when it came to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So, Eric, though, you've been a little quiet so far. Are you massively familiar with Noah? Have you seen Legion or Fargo?
Not a sausage, no. I think Fargo might have been on Netflix or something like that.
It is on Netflix for us, yeah.
Yeah, I've not started it because I've never seen the film. So I'd like to see the source material that it's being adapted from or whatever before going into that. And never seen Legion, so he is a blank slate to me, aside from what he has said over the last few months in relation to this project.
See, that's actually the same for me. All I know of Noah is his reputation and what he's said of Alien so far. I mean, I'm going to go watch Fargo. I've been wanting to watch it for ages, and it is on Netflix for us in the UK, so if anybody watching's curious. I'm not sure about Legion. I don't know where that is for us.
It's gotten good feedback, I've heard. Like people
they're both supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, though, just thinking back to it, it was an episode of Legion that one of the viral pieces for Covenant was aired during. Do you remember that? The Last Supper.
Probably
What
just
comes around goes around.
I know it was a coincidence, but I think that was a funny sort of
interesting,
little tidbit.
Ridley Scott is also set to executive produce this series, which has us all curious. I'm wondering if this was going to be like his involvement with the now canceled Blomkamp's Alien 5, where he was just set to produce, and if this is him actually just producing, or if he's going to try and put in his story elements again. God help us. But I guess we'll find out.
I think that is a worry for a lot of fans, that because we know how the creative process went with Prometheus and Covenant, and Scott is great as a visual masterpiece guy and all the rest of it. Not so much with actors from what I remember, because I remember back in Alien and Tom Skerritt and that, they said, he just left us to get on with it.
He always said he hired good actors, so he didn't have to do anything with the actors.
Yeah, but it would have been helpful if they'd have been aware of that.
As far as Ridley with the story, I think it honestly depends. Like, I've been watching Raised by Wolves, and I think that show is really intriguing. Now, I haven't gotten to the end yet, and people have said mixed things about the ending for this season 1, but I feel like Ridley is good these days when you let him do his thing, but that the Alien universe is he might be taking a bit too much of a wrecking ball to that when you let him do his thing there completely. So that I had always said, like, Prometheus for me would have been a much stronger sci-fi series if it was not connected to Alien, if it was just totally its own thing, which is why I'm probably enjoying Raised by Wolves as I am. Yeah. So I think this is Hawley's project. We're pretty sure this is Hawley's project.
That's something that people need to sort of remember about the way television's handled. Your showrunner is normally, the guy with that title is the one who has the hand in everything. The scripts that come through, even if they're not credited to him, he's rewritten bits of that. They have rewritten bits of that script. When it comes to, Ridley's involvement with Raised by Wolves, it's normally the first couple of directors, they make their mark on the visual style of the show. Everybody who follows it tends to ape from those first few episodes. And that very much seems to be the case with Raised by Wolves. I mean, I haven't followed it massively, so I don't know if he does have a narrative hand in that show. But my instinct is to blame any of the sort of narrative problems on, what's his name? Aaron something.
I'm not sure.
Whoever that showrunner is.
So, Ridley, just like that show, it's possible he could direct a few episodes of this. I thought his son, Luke Scott, did a great job on not only the few episodes he did of Raised by Wolves, but also the Covenant viral marketing stuff. I thought, I'm curious to see what Luke Scott is going to do in terms of directing with the Alien franchise in the future. And I would love to see him do a few episodes of this series.
I think it's going to be too much of a marketing coup for them to not try to get Ridley Scott at least to direct the first debut one.
Pilot directed by Ridley Scott.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm quite happy with that. I'm with you, Eric. I'm not confident in Scott from a narrative point of view these days, and that's as much as I do enjoy Covenant. I wouldn't want to see him too hands-on with the way the show will go. I mean, especially with how few episodes it's probably going to have compared to... Well, no. How many episodes?
It looks like he has mentioned, he's talked about this before he was given it in the last few months. He's talked about 10 you
episodes,
have like 10 hours. So assuming this is going to be in it, because it could be half hours, you don't know how they're going to do it. So assuming it's going to be hour-long episodes, it would probably be around 10 episodes. But that's around Mandalorian length. So
that's our assumption now, though.
Well,
I mean,
that was what I
could have
was
changed. Yeah.
Well, that was what I was going to ask about. I can't remember how many episodes Raised by Wolves is. I think that's just 10 as well, isn't it?
Maybe. I'm not sure the length of those episodes either.
Well, it's more just the season length I was interested in terms of how many episodes, because they are about an hour.
It is 10.
Yeah, so that just seems to be the standard, I guess, these days, and that's fine by me.
I think they're 45-minute episodes, the Raised by Wolves ones.
Well, it is on. Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Because this is going to be on television as well as Hulu, so it is probably going to.
Do we know that though? Because I know FX is producing stuff for Hulu now, and I think it could be exclusively for Hulu.
Streaming.
Okay, fair enough. So it would. I think it would probably make more sense,
especially with this content. It would make more sense without them having to deal with editorial.
Yeah, it's like CBS stuff. They didn't do Discovery on TV, but CBS is a TV, network. So
yeah, well, they wanted
their streaming service, the CBS All Access, right?
With Discovery, they specifically wanted that Star Trek thing to lead their streaming service. I think so they were depending on that.
Hulu. I think Disney wants to get people on Hulu, and this will be one of the ways they do it. I don't think we're going to see this on TV.
It'll be like Alien exclusive. Maybe directed by Ridley Scott. That's gonna be how they market it.
Yeah, it could be Raised by Wolves, where they just throw the first episode on YouTube, for everybody to watch.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think if it's going streaming, that means we are going to be seeing 10-hour episodes. So no, Liz, I'm merging Noah and Hawley there. Noah Hawley's previous comments about the length, I think, would be pretty relevant. And
he also he specifically says, well, if you have 2 hours of action and that leaves you with 8 hours of drama. So if you split that up, that would probably give us 10 to 15 minutes of action per episode, which again, I think is pretty much how Mandalorian does it too. So I think from that you can figure out the tone of drama versus action in each episode.
And to be fair, the Fox, Disney do seem to be hanging. You mentioned Ridley's name on the thing as a cell. They are using Noah as a cell as well. They are using Fargo and
Legion are both well-liked series. I may not be super familiar with either of them, but they're both pretty critically acclaimed as far as I know.
Yeah, but in association with the Alien brand. From a marketing point of view, you would want to push Ridley Scott's name more.
You're going to get both. You're going to get both. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you could have people that didn't like the prequels, but they might have liked Fargo or they might have liked Legion. So,
I think they're going to be pushing both. That was more just a comment in terms of.
It'll be both.
It was more just a comment in terms of pushing that confidence in Noah. On that same sort of level. And I'm so we don't know much, but just the idea of longer form alien storytelling in the hands of somebody who has the reputation that Noah does is really exciting for me.
Yeah, totally. We've been talking about these rumors for a good while, and I've wanted Alien to do a series format. I'm super stoked for this. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
But I think we all agreed mostly we like an anthology series, but I don't get the sense that this is going to be anthology. This is going to be a season arc thing.
It could be seasonal anthology. It could, if it does well, it could be like American Horror Story, where each season is its own self-contained story in a specific setting or time frame in the Alien universe, and then season 2 may focus on a completely different set of characters and a completely different time frame.
That's dealing with how the linking this for this series as a whole. I think it's going to be an episodic thing. You're going to keep with the same characters for this,
at least for one season. Yeah, at least for one season.
But if you look here, it's just FX Alien, no subtitle, nothing. So I think the odds of each season being something different and it being treated as a I mean, this is just me projecting, but the odds of it being a different thing each season could be pretty high. I think that's a good prediction to have. Perhaps if it had a subtitle, maybe not, but just that generic FX as Alien, I think makes me think it could be. I think
it'll depend on if they're going to go for the cliffhanger route to secure another series. Because at that point, it's a continuation. What happens to those characters? And it'll depend how they leave the last episode.
But again, it's pretty early days, so this is just speculation, conjecture, and hope.
Predator movie podcasts are just speculating.
What I wanted to say was we've often said anthology, so it might not be that, but we've always used to say, wouldn't it be great if we had a Predator film where it was set back in time? And now we've got that, and now we've got this thing. Yeah. Pieces of the puzzle.
We've had some good news recently. Now just show us the Cold Iron game and we'll be all set. But
that was the funny thing, wasn't it? When this went up,
I was ready to report on that for the Game Awards.
Yeah,
because I was hoping that would finally drop during the Game Awards. And then this news pops because they had all the Disney news come out at the exact same time of the Game Awards. So we're just flooded with video game and movie and TV news at the same time. So we're still waiting on that one, but
it might be they're doing last minute additions because now they're doing this. They might want to do some linking crossover stuff.
I mean, there's nothing. There's no other opportunities to really throw this out now, is there? Other than its own thing. Is that right, Adam? There's no other game shows. There's nothing like Gamescom coming up soon or anything. Gamescom's already been come and gone, hasn't it?
I do think game reveals are a little less dependent on the big events these days. I mean, they still do their reveals there, but we see a number of game reveals just happen whenever as well. So I mean, we did just exclusively reveal the book cover for the prequel novel, Aliens Infiltrator. There you go. To the video game. Still no title for the game, though. Just says the exciting new Aliens video game. But next year, 2021, is the 35th anniversary of Aliens. And given the Aliens branding on the book, I expect it to also have the Aliens branding with the game. And
that makes sense because if you also look down here, we're also
with Alex White's new novel. Yeah. Also very excited for that one. But yeah, so I would hope they would time it next year with the Aliens anniversary and try and capitalize off that.
Yep, it'd be nice. But anyway,
back to the cheers. Yeah.
Well, not that there's much more to talk about. It was just nice to have this confirmed and announced because we didn't know when this was going to go up. And
we thought it would be at a later time, but an investor shareholder makes sense.
But it's exciting. I mean, I think it's exciting. Reservations aside, even with the whole near future and Earth thing, I can't help but be excited. When they give me some proper reason to be grumpy about it, maybe I'll change my mind.
And somebody posted a tweet that was like some of the Earth War comics, and they were like, Earth is a better setting than people realize for Alien, and I don't think they're going to go like an Earth War route, but
no, you can't.
Localized infestation that gets nuked, maybe, but maybe. A full
they did it with Texas.
Yes, exactly. And Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, it's exciting. I'm so excited at the minute. New game, new Predator film, this new show, plenty of books coming out. They're being kept coming.
Yeah. New comics too.
I think we should point out because there is a section of the fandom which at the moment is speculating this must be an AVP project because it's set on Earth. There's nothing.
I haven't heard any of that. Yeah.
That in reactions, I've seen a lot of people saying because it's Earth and it's near future, it must be to do with continuing the events of the AVP.
I saw one person on our forum joking that they found the Queen from Boba Toy.
Well, there you go.
He was joking.
Like that. We've not seen any indication it's to do with AVP, and to be honest, if it was, I would expect Disney to market it. AVP series. This is an Alien.
It's not,
especially with Ridley's involvement as well.
No,
because he's not even watched them So,
but we're still waiting on that anime. Come on, Disney.
Yeah, give us the anime. I want that AVP anime.
Or make your own.
Just get, if one's done, show me what they did. Come on, it's an anime. It doesn't have to be canon.
Yeah. But anyway, have you guys got any other thoughts or comments on FX's Alien? Or we talked out?
I think we're good for now, but hopefully we won't.
yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say is I remember when this was spoken months back, and Hawley said, because this gives an indication of the direction this might go in story-wise. He did talk interestingly about if you look at what Alien tends to be, it's usually a trapped story, trapped in a ship, trapped in a prison, etc. And the alien has a life cycle. So I think the setting indicates it's an isolated place. But he did say Alien is on some level the complete opposite of Star Trek. It's sort of about humanity at its worst. There's this moment in the second film where Sigourney, as in Ripley, says, I don't know which species is worst. Now, I disagreed with that because to me, she was referring more about like the hierarchy of the corporate. To me, the Alien films are more about tending to show humanity when it's pushed to the brink at its best, because people have to work together.
I still think the Alien universe has a lot of like bickering of what's in it.
Yeah, it does,
kind of
but
like,
it's like relatable bitching. When people are pushed to the brink, you don't see, aside from Burke, who represents the hierarchy, you don't see the ordinary people fucking one another over. It's the people who are down in the mud. They have to work together. So that's the only thing I would say possibly I've got reservations about in terms of the angle. But how far that's going to play a part in the story, I'm willing to give it a chance.
I think humans screwing each other over is a pretty common theme in the Alien franchise. I mean, you look at novels like Criminal Enterprise, you look at even Cold Forge, a lot of the comics.
It's corporate representatives, though. It's people, putting a face on the big evil corporation. I think more than
the people who treat people as statistics, not because they know one another. When it's people
you still have
work
people
together,
just screwing each other over to survive in the Alien extended universe.
You do, but I would say it's not a central theme.
It's not a central theme, no. But
nameless entities like companies and whatever doing it. When it's people working together they're in the same shit, you don't see it happen. I wouldn't say it's a central theme.
It's not a central theme, but it does happen. I mean, we've played the RPG enough to know that we will be.
Yeah, you can have people with ulterior motives, but I wouldn't want them to revolve it around that, because that to me is not what the films are typically about.
I don't think it'll be like a central theme they focus on, but there probably will be some people screwing each other over in theories.
I think we'll probably be looking at Burke level kind of things. Somebody representing a company trying to maybe manipulate the situation for, more, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they'll have to, and there'll also probably be some red herrings where you're led to believe someone's doing that, but it's actually not that, and it's somebody else you didn't even consider. It'll be something like that as well.
Maybe, yeah. But still early days. Hopefully you folk watching will come back for the next opportunity we get to speculate and discuss some new news on this thing. As always, let us know down below. Are you looking forward to this? Are you buzzing like I am? I don't know about these guys, but I'm certainly buzzing.
I'm excited.
I'm cautiously optimistic, but because of what a lot of we have had in recent times, I've got that instinctive need to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah,
so I'm not disappointed, but
I can't fault you. Yeah. I mean, I tend to always go for the excitement and then get disappointed.
Yeah, that's how I do it as well. Even Covenant, I was hyped for it, up until the moment. Until after I saw it, but
it's still good. We've been through this.
There are things that are good about it.
Somebody's already said on one of the a recent comment on one of our videos that RidgeTop's opinion is invalid
because I like AVPR.
And it still counts to this day. So Anyway,
Oops.
Thank you everybody for watching. Please do leave us any feedback, any comments that you have down below. I would be curious to see how many of you are excited or how many of you are a bit cautious, because I can't fault you. Ridley Scott, I'm still cautious of him, but let's
Some
give him a
people
reason
might
to...
be burnt out and they don't want a TV series or anything, but I say so long as it's handled well, go for it.
Yeah, indeed. And again, if you like what we're doing, please like the videos, share them around, comment, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think. As always, you can find Hub of Our Activity on avpgalaxy.net. There's all social links and a link to our message boards as well. Old school, still live. Come sign up, join in with some nerds. We love it. You'll love it too. This has been Corporal Hicks.
RidgeTop.
Xenomorphine.
Signing off.